Hello YouTube. Welcome once again to another episode of Cooking with Corona. Although of course if you've been watching the series thus far, you'll know that we're not actually cooking with Corona. We are in fact cooking in lockdown, unless of course you are suffering from COVID-19, in which case we're cooking with Corona in both respects of the definition of that sentence. Now, I'm sorry, once again, that I look so unshaven and hideous. I'll try to look more presentable one day. Something that you may have noticed in the course of my making these things is that my surface is packed. My kitchen is quite small, as you can tell, and as such it's difficult to fit everything into it. And I know you don't see much of what's in front of me all the time. You tend to see me either from, as you now do, from the front, or you see them from the cupboard. To my right, your left. And sometimes I'll show you what I'm chopping up down here, but in reality much of this is cluttered up. And one of the things that does clutter it up a lot are bottles. Bottles and bottles of ginger wine, and I just had a little look online to see what I could use with ginger wine, whether I could cook it in some way. Look, as much as I like ginger wine, you're supposed to have it in small little glasses like this. This is one that my grandmother used to own. I think I inherited my passion for it from her, and ginger generally. Trouble is, people give me a lot of this sort of stuff around Christmas time. I've got this one, which is the Stones brand. I've got traditional green. I've got the Krabby's variety. I've told you before how I once had some. It was either Krabby's ginger wine or Krabby's ginger beer that I was having in a pub once, and a lady who was drunk as a pickled newt came up and said, "Oh, Krabby's. Doesn't give you Krabby's, doesn't it?" I assure you it does not. This dish may go terribly wrong, but amongst all things it will not give you a venereal disease, which is always a plus. No. A long time ago, however, I did try to make a dish with ginger wine, because as I say, you drink it little by little. And a long time ago I did make a sort of chicken dish with sauce, ginger wine in it, but I was improvising and I don't think I could do it very easily under camera. So, this is a duck dish. You're supposed to be doing this with fillets of duck breast. I've got some duck breast here, but I've also got leg. Hopefully it'll work. If not, have a laugh at my expense. We will need, obviously, ginger wine, obviously duck. We're supposed to have port, but I couldn't find any. But what I could find was some little bottles on offer, sort of £5 for 3. So I'll use one of those in there. We're also supposed to have oranges, but I've only got satsumas, but they'll do, I suppose. And the reason we need oranges is because we make some orange dumplings to go with it. Watch and learn. Unless, of course, it goes all terribly wrong, in which case just watch and laugh at me. And we begin. So, the first thing we need to do is squeeze these orange or satsumas to make the orange juice. I suppose you can use orange juice from a bottle or a carton. I've only got these sort of smoothie-like things, and I don't think that's required in there. Besides, it isn't pure orange. It's also got carrot and apple and ginger, and I could try some, I suppose, but no, I shan't. I shan't risk it. I'm going to squeeze them then, and I'll also need the rind. First one cut then. Now I'll just squeeze that in. If you've got one of those orange squeezers, lime squeezers, by all means use one of those. Very well, the oranges are squeezed, it's all done. See what I've done here? And now I'm going to take this rind and grate some. Put the juice in then. Let's get the rind next and grate some of that on. Alright, next up, the wine. Roughly the same amount of orange juice and orange rind. Next up, the thing that makes it ginger wine duck. Ginger wine. Once. Twice. Bottles come to an end, so I'll open another. Twice. Alright, now I'll cover that up and put it in the fridge. And there it shall stay overnight. Hello again. 24 hours later it is. And, well, so I shall be trying in the course of the next few weeks to be integrating the wine into dishes there as well. I have some ideas. Right, the duck is still refrigerated as yet. At the moment, I'm going to go through the vegetables and the dumplings that are going with it. And they too have orange and ginger in them. The first thing we'll need is flour. All the other recipes I've used that have flour in them are just plain ordinary white flour, with the exception of the curry and bhajis, which required gram flour, and that hasn't gone up yet. I promise you it will one day. This is self-raising. You must use self-raising in these dumplings. Very well then. It's 150 grams then. Alright, that was close to 200. Never mind, we'll put that into the mixing bowl. Take 2 shallots and cut them up. So sorry, they're chives, not shallots. I'll put in a few more than just 2, shall I? There's 8 or 10 of those then, so we'll put those in. 20 grams of butter. Now, just as with the duck itself, we'll add a bit of rind. There we are then. Melt some butter.
As babysitting facilities, you know, and
butter.
they're not productive at all.
Okay, now I'm going to take this and some others and I'm going to make some orange juice. Alright, we'll put that in then. Teaspoon of caster sugar and 2 tablespoons of milk. Now I'll stir this about. The original recipe, but I'm also going to add a little ginger in keeping with the general theme of this being ginger wine duck. A little bit going in there. Now we'll set that aside. One more thing to do before we get the duck, and that's to concentrate on the vegetables. See here how I've got some chopped carrots and sweet potato. And that will require a little ginger and orange as well. Onion then, and as I've said, I don't know how many times at this point, cut every bit except the stalk, which causes you to weep if you're susceptible to weeping because of onion. 2 cloves of garlic. Heat some more butter, 3 tablespoonfuls or so. Make some more orange juice from, well, satsuma juice from these 2 satsumas, my 2 remaining ones. See where I've got the butter melting there? I'm going to put the orange juice in that. Like so. Little olive oil, some salt, some cinnamon. That was a little too much perhaps, never mind. As you know by now, I do not have just pepper by itself, I keep forgetting to get it, but I do have this combination of turmeric and peppercorn. I'm going to grind that in. And of course ginger. Now I'm going to mix all of this together, look, like this. I mentioned before that I was chopping onions and garlic. You can see I've got it in my hand right here. And I'm just going to put that in with the carrots and sweet potatoes. And now, having made this little concoction, we'll put it in there. Now, I'm hoping that I can put both the vegetables and the duck in the oven together. This is what the duck looks like now then. Before doing anything, we should prick these because an inordinate amount of fat comes out of a duck, far more than you get from a chicken. cook roasted chicken, you'll know you have to add a bit of oil, or pheasant and guinea fowl, they also need a little bit of help. Whereas birds like ducks, geese, they produce their own fat. One way of doing it with chicken or pheasant or grouse is to put some bacon over it. Now I am going to do that with this duck, but here the idea is that the fat cooks the bacon as well. And I hope this does work, by the way, because it isn't part of the recipe I'm following, but still. My mother recommended it when she heard that I was cooking duck, so why not? We'll trust her, and if it goes wrong, we'll blame her. Here we are then with both meat and veg, and I'm hoping that they'll be able to cook at the same rate in the oven. It's on at moderate heat, it's called, but hopefully it'll work with the same temperature. Alright, at roughly the 20-minute mark, I'm going to start boiling this juice that I marinated the duck in, and I'm also going to cook the dumplings. Hopefully I'll defy the cliche that a man can't multitask. Very well, we're at the 20-minute mark, more or less, so I'll just move you round so you can see what I'm doing. A wine and orange juice and ginger wine mixture goes in there. And the dumplings will go in there, but first some chicken stock. In that goes then. Right. Aha. See it sizzling? It's about done. Alright. Let's get these on. I'll put us. Put it on low heat. Now, so the dumplings go in there, and that goes on the boil. Form this dough-like thing into a ball, or into several balls. And put that in there. I'll do it by hand, it's easier. Very well, it's starting to boil. You can see it there. You can also see how the dumplings have grown, so I think they're about done now. This has been going on for about 10 minutes now, a little under. By the way, I didn't mention this, but there was a second leg that was inside the juice that I fished out, so that's 2 legs and 2 breasts. There they are then. Next, vegetables. Very nice. There's the juice. Finally, the dumplings. There we are then. Duck first. You definitely taste the flavour, and very strong flavour in the gravy. Let's try it. Very nice. Now, vegetables. Oh. Goes excellently together. And dumplings. Generally I like my dumplings sort of drier, so I might leave them. I've still got a little bit more left in the saucepan, so, well, in the bowl, and I'll make those, I'll put those in some water as well, but overall, I think very tasty. Quite similar to coq au vin in many ways. Just a different kind of wine. You know, I might become so engrossed in that I might forget you're there, so I might as well switch you off now. In any case, I'm quite impressed with that one. Apart from the sort of honeyed pork that I more or less started with, I think it's probably the most original of all the dishes that I've tried to make. So yes, have a crack at it yourself, if you like. And if you're a duck lover, then don't. First one cut then. Now I'll just squeeze that in. And get some juice on the camera. And very strong flavour in the gravy.